Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We are on episode 9 of JuJutsu Kaisen, and this show gets more and more interesting every week. The end of the last episode threw me for such a loop because we had this time skip, it jumped ahead a month, we went into this whole totally different plot with this whole nother case. There's this guy in a suit that's with Yuji that I'm assuming Gojo has had to take Yuji on a training mission, so there's somebody else that knows Yuji isn't dead. All of the questions. But what's interesting is that Mahito, who is our antagonist, or our seeming antagonist, that we met back in the little paradise world that Geto went to a few episodes back, he seems to be in the real world, out of his little domain, and is running amok. And I'm assuming he's the cause of the theater incident with the 3 boys that Yuji and this guy are investigating. So, lots of questions. I'm assuming this episode is going to set up our main bad guy, our main villain. But oh man, what I really like about this show so far is that it's not afraid to do things like last episode where we went for a complete loop on the timeline and was like, wait, what are we doing now? Like, I like shows that are bold enough to be like, okay, we're jumping ahead, you'll figure it out, I'm sure, and then we're going to go back and explain what's happened. So I'm kind of for that. Last episode we got a little bit more information about our second years, about this Kyoto Jiu-Jitsu school. I will apologize, and I'm sure I'm recording these a little bit ahead of time, so I'm sure that in weeks past, many people have commented that I think what threw me off is Inumaki, who is the one that has the mouth piece, the cloth over him that can only speak in ingredients. His name is Inumaki, and then Maki is Zenin, who is the girl with the tools. So those names were throwing me off because Maki's in both of the names, and that part was confusing me a little bit. But I'm like, okay, Inumaki is the one that speaks the ingredients, that his power seems super cool, and I want more on him. And then Maki Zenin is the girl with the tools, whose sister Mai is trifling. But, oh man, the humor in this show has been so spot on. I think the whole Lord of the Rings reference from a few episodes back, I'm still like, what? So good. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this show, and so I'm really curious now. I want some more info on Mahito. I want some more info on Geto. I want to know why this boy seems so unafraid of this guy. Like, he just shows up in the alley. He's like, hey, did you kill those guys? Like, I'd be like, dude, I'd be running away. I would not be chasing after the guy that looks like Frankenstein. But so curious. So, and he looks like the guy in the OP. I'm going to have to watch the OP this time. He looks like the guy sitting next to Yuji at the end of the OP. So I'm like, clearly, I don't know if he's a sorcerer or not, if he's a second year, if he's related to anything else. I'm not sure. So I'm really curious. But without further ado, guys, I'm done speculating. Let's dive in and just see what happens here with episode 9, Small Fry and Reverse Retribution. What a weird title for an episode. But we're going to start this episode here in, get on here. Oh no. Let me go back. We're going to start this episode here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Y'all, what is happening? Oh, Gojo, you're such a troll. I love it. Okay. I'm wondering if these moments between Gojo, these Juju strolls, they're like extras in the manga. Okay, I want to go back to the discussion between... Okay. Man. Holy cow, y'all. So, let's go back to this discussion between Mahito and Yoshino. And I've got the sound turned off. We'll get to that in a minute. Man! Oh! Okay, there's so much. My mind is like all over the place this episode because there's so much to talk about. But, okay, first of all, I said in the ED, love Kento. Kento's character being the no-nonsense guy with a heart. Those kind of characters are kind of my favorite because I love characters that are like, kind of like Aizawa in My Hero Academia, kind of like those characters that are the mentor figures, but are not necessarily teachers. They're kind of like the mentors that have the heart of gold, but they got the tough exterior. And Kento is like so that. Like on the surface, he's this no nonsense businessman that's like, oh, come on, Yuji, why can't you get this? But then on the inside, when he's talking to the assistant, he's like, he's a kid. I don't want to get him involved in something that he could get hurt in. It's my job to protect young sorcerers like yourself. Like he has this heart of gold in this like tough, no nonsense exterior. I love characters like that. And his power is really cool. It's very specific. I like that him and Gojo kind of seem like they're around the same age, maybe. Like they knew each other growing up. It's very interesting. I want to talk about the relationship between Yoshino and Mahito because this is interesting. Also, establishing Yuji's empathy. I thought whenever the curses first showed up and they were saying like lunch and detergent, I'm like, are they people that have become curses? And it looks like, yeah, they have been. They've been imbued with this curse energy and it's like transformed them, which the three guys in the theater, when Mahito touched them, they like all got disfigured and everything. And it's like maybe they didn't have enough energy to become curses, but these two did. And it's like, ooh. Which has a lot of scary implications because that implication is that Mahito has the power to turn people into curses or into these like half curse hybrids. That's really disturbing and is a very big threat. And I like that Yuji was afraid that he'd killed an actual person. And then the coroner, Shoko was like, no, they had died from the shock of transforming into those monsters. And then they were just running off the curse energy. It wasn't, you didn't kill them, even though you kind of exorcised them in the end. But, oh my gosh. Mahito is such an intriguing villain already because he has this kind of like Mugen, like, oh gosh, I'm thinking of the villain from Demon Slayer, Musan. He has this like kind of like elegance to him, even though he doesn't look it. He has such a weird, like pretty look that's deceiving. Like you look at him and you're like, oh, he's like a pretty Frankenstein, and then you're like, oh crap, he just killed those people. So I wanted to pull back up. My dog was wanting me to play fetch while all this part was going on. I was like, I'm trying to watch JuJutsu Kaisen. JuJutsu Kaisen. So, okay, so cursed energy is a collection of cursed energy emitted by humans. So we realize that a shared image of fear makes it easier for a curse to manifest. So, and I like he keeps reading all these books about humanity, which is interesting. So we know that curses are basically made up of fear and hatred, like pure. I like that Hanako-kun is mentioned here. Like, oh my gosh, what a call. What a call. I love it. Awesome. It's a cool reference, considering that we're reading it right now. So this curse, Mahito, was originally human, which is interesting, apparently. So he's taken Yoshino under his wing and is creepily like connecting with him, which is interesting. I'm so curious. This poor kid that's been bullied like his whole life. At first I was like, why would a human go along with this curse who's terrifying? But oh yeah, that shot of him just like with the close-up is so creepy. And then he pushes Yoshino's bangs back and we see that he's got this big scar on him and has clearly been through some like abuse and trauma himself and has had all this fear and hatred building up inside of him. Oh. And he says, what kind of curse are you? And he's like, I'm a human one. Born from hatred and fear, people hold in their gut towards others. So that's why they're drawn together. Oof. And there's clearly like that little scar on Yoshino's forehead that looks like a stamp, like a brand, and Mahito could see it. And so that's really curious. But I like the fact that Mahito has found this like-minded soul in this human, Yoshino, who has a lot of fear and hatred towards others, and who he feels people have fear and hatred towards him. Because even when he goes and gets the ticket at the movie theater, the woman's just kind of like looks at him like, eh. Like Yoshino's kind of like just a creepy looking kid, and I think that that appearance deceives people. And so the fact that Mahito's kind of clearly he realizes that Yoshino has some spirit energy, some cursed energy, because he could see him right from the start, and he's like, most people can't see me, but you can. I can use you, and you're a human, so what if we teamed up? What if I used you to get into the jujitsu school? Because he's in the OP. What if he's like, how about you be a double agent and get into the jujitsu school and find out all its secrets for me, and I'll just let you be a student there, and we'll just go from there. So, I'm really curious about that, and I'm wondering, it showed in the preview, Yuji interacting with him, and of course Yuji's friends with everybody, so Yuji doesn't care that Yoshino looks kind of like different than most people. He usually doesn't care. So I'm really curious. I'm nervous that they've let Kento go off by himself to face Mahito, because Mahito, if he's our main bad guy, you don't face the main bad guy right off the bat by yourself. That's not good. And if he has the power to turn people into curses, that's even worse. So I'm wondering, I really like the idea of this curse user being an evil jujitsu sorcerer. So the fallen angel metaphor, like the jujitsu sorcerers that have kind of gone to the dark side and gone to the cursed spirit side. Geto, who's been our Franken samurai they said in the last episode that he was a curse user. I'm pretty sure that they said he was a cursed user, so he was an evil jujitsu sorcerer. That makes a lot of sense why he's been talking with the curses and why he's with Mahito. So I'm wondering if Mahito wants to recruit Yoshino to become a curse user as well. Oh man, y'all. So interesting. So interesting. It's going to be even more interesting if Yuji becomes friends with Yoshino, and neither of them realize what each other are. And I like this parallel that they're setting up, because Yoshino is being tied to Mahito, who's this human curse, and Yuji's tied to Sakana, who's this cursed special grade spirit. So, who was once human, they established was once human as well. So, lots of parallels, lots of fun things happening. I love Kento. Why was Gojo in random casual wear with the glasses? I'm all for it. It was a good look on him, but he wasn't in his normal garb. So I'm like, did he go somewhere? Are we going to get ties back to that? So many questions, y'all. This episode left me with so many questions and things to think about of, okay, how is this happening? How is Yoshino and Mahito going to work together? Is Kento going to be okay? How is Yuji going to fit into this? What is happening? And we don't know. We know that there's 2 weeks left until the event, the exchange event. So I'm like, is Mahito planning to strike at the exchange event? Does he know that that's happening? Is he going to find that out from Yoshino after Yoshino talks with Yuji about it? Ooh. And as far as we know, Mahito and the others think that Yuji's, well, they thought he was dead, but Gojo had him, so maybe not. Okay. Wow, there's a lot to think about. This was such a good episode. This may be my favorite episode so far. Not just because of the introduction of Kento, but because of everything it's setting up and all of this world building that's happening is super intriguing to me. So, y'all, I'm excited. I can't wait to see episode 10. I hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Please comment down below. Please no spoilers, but y'all, this is getting so exciting and I can't wait. So I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. And I'll be back again soon with more JuJutsu Kaisen. Bye.